Afternoon, Michael. Just starting off with some team news. First of all, can you explain maybe how long Patrick Dorgu could be out, and are there any other players coming back, like Joshua Zirkzee on the ties to that?
Yeah, Josh is back training this week, which is good news. Obviously first time, so he's been out for a short amount of time, but first kind of training with us since we've been here, so that's great to have Josh back. Pat, unfortunately, he's going to be out for a period of time. We're still working through that, how long that's going to be. But so we'll have to see. You know, disappointing. He's had such a big couple of weeks, Pat. So we weren't sure whether it was a little bit of cramp or whether it was something a little bit more serious. And at the moment, it looks a little bit more on the serious note. So it'll be a few weeks for that. How many weeks we'll have to wait and see. But so that's disappointing for all of us really, and for Pat. You know, he's in such a good place, but unfortunately it is part of football, and it's something we've got to work through and get him back as soon as we can.
And just on Delit, is he still a few weeks away?
Yeah, he's not trained with us yet, so just working through and the process really of getting him back as soon as we can.
Michael, when you look across the sort of last year or so for United, I know you've not been here that entire time, but you've watched a lot of the team. A consistent theme has been the struggle to win games consistently at Old Trafford. Do you know why that is?
I think ultimately consistency is the key to success, you know, and I think it's in my eyes it's one of the most difficult things to achieve, to be good consistently rather. So yeah, it takes so much, you know. It takes the level of performance, it takes the level of mentality and the intensity and the concentration, and actually be able to cope emotionally with the ups and downs of what each game brings and moving on to the next. So there's so many things and that kind of go into it. And listen, that's what we're working towards. You know, we've had a great couple of weeks, 2 big results. There's bigger games coming up, and it's just keeping the mind in the right place as much as the emotions to be able to go into the next game just as we have done the previous 2.
I interviewed Lisandro Martinez yesterday, and it goes in line with what you were just saying there as well. He said that you touched his heart, and that meant that he'd give you everything. I wonder how much work you've been doing in this short time, capturing hearts and minds as well as giving tactical detail as well.
Yeah, well, you've got to play with feeling. You know, you've got to play with emotion, you've got to play with excitement, and so there's definitely that side of things, and it's something we speak about. You know, the technical side's one thing, but the things I've just touched on is totally something else. And the boys have been there, you know, in training and in games and in meetings and everything around the place. They've been there, and everything we've asked of them. And Leach has epitomised that in terms of how he's gone about every day, and certainly in the game. So, but we're definitely aware that. Of what it's taken to have the couple of weeks we've had. A couple of weeks is a couple of weeks, you know. It's good, but it's 2 weeks, and we're definitely aware that it's something we want to and we need to make extend for longer. So respecting the game, respecting what it takes to win games and how hard it is and how good a team Fulham are. That's definitely on the front of our minds.
Thank you.
Hi Michael, returning to Patrick for a moment, it's been reported it could be 10 weeks. Are you confident you're such a versatile player, the depth to cope with that?
Yeah, listen, obviously it's not ideal. It's not ideal, of course it's not. We don't want to lose good players from the group, but that's part of having a squad and assembling a squad to be able to cover certain things, and we've got players that can do that. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
It will naturally, some will wonder if you're going to move in the transfer market before the deadline. Do you see any movement incoming before Monday?
To be honest, I think we're just working through it. Never say never, of course, because a lot can happen, and situations can be thrown up. Sometimes it's in our control. Sometimes it's maybe something that's out of our control that we've got to deal with. So. You know, we're calm. I'm pretty calm. I think we've got, and we've shown what we're capable of doing as a team, and we'll just have to see what the next few days bring. But I'm definitely calm about it.
Michael, the general consensus has been that if anybody did come in, then somebody would go out. And you mentioned Josh before. He's the one who persistently gets linked with moves to Italy. Have you spoken to him about his future, or has he articulated what his desire for this window is?
No, I think Josh has just been trying to work to get fit and get back around the group, and it's been great to have him back training. And training yesterday with the group for the first time, that's literally as far as it goes for me and for Josh. You know, I'm looking forward to working with him. So that's it. Nothing else is needed to be said.
Darren?
Hi, Michael. Bruno signed for the club 6 years ago today. Obviously, everyone knows what a massive impact he's had. I'm just wondering if you could explain a bit about what you found working with him. And also, every summer now, his future gets thrown into doubt. Obviously, you made comments again recently about the club wanting him to leave. Do you feel like he needs to see evidence of progress over the next few months to commit to staying on again? Because obviously, for a player of his ability, he's not won enough, has he, at this club?
I think, first of all, I've seen the impact he had as soon as he got here. You know, I was obviously here, so I've seen it at close quarters, and he had a huge impact straight away in so many ways. You know, you could see the passion, you could see how much he wanted to do well. Straight away, you've seen the quality, and that's carried on all the way through. And his consistency, really, of performances, his level of performances, his willingness to always put himself out there and physically be able to do it. You know, I think there's a lot to credit him for in that respect. Listen, of course, we all want to win things. We all want to get better. We want to improve as a team. We want to be successful, and that's something we've got to work towards together. But Bruno's been fantastic since I've been here. He was fantastic when I was here before, so I've got nothing but good things to say about him.
Hi Michael, it's just on the subject of Bruno's future then. I mean, A, have you talked to him about it, and B, I mean, would you expect him to be here next year, or do you feel it needs Champions League football?
I think let's not get too far ahead. You know, we're working towards this game, and he's talking about the window now and closing in a few days. That's on the agenda a little bit, but my main agenda is getting through the game on Sunday with Fulham, and Bruno's fully committed. There's absolutely no issues at all. Things further down the line, obviously addressed towards the end of the season or whatever, but everything's positive at the moment. There's no reason to be any otherwise.
Rob?
Hi Michael. Just on the Fulham game, an issue that's kind of predated some of the previous managers is United sometimes struggling to break down teams who come to Old Trafford and are happy to sit a little bit deeper. Obviously, that's not the way that City and Arsenal play. Does the messaging or the game plan change at all when you've got a team like Fulham coming in? And you also mentioned after the City game that you're not always going to have the big emotions like a derby brings up, and sometimes the players are going to have to do that themselves. Is Fulham kind of an example of that?
Yeah, I don't think we need to make too much of it, to be honest. I think we are where we are. I think what the feeling around the group, around the squad, and the results that we've had, the performances, and going into the next game, I don't think the past is too relevant in that respect. You understand it and what's worked before and what hasn't, but really it's I think the boys are in a good place going into the game. Tough game, really tough challenge. I think Fulham, Marco's got them really into a really good team, so it's I think this one, of all of a sudden it's a different game. It's Fulham, and just because we're at home, taking anything for granted is bang out of order, really. So it might be a case it's the same flow of the game as what we've had the last 2 weeks. No shame in that. We'll deal with the game, what's in front of us, and do whatever it takes for us to be able to come out on top.
Thank you, Leroy. Look forward to seeing that in a bit. But right now, let's get straight to what was arguably the match of the weekend. Ian, Arsenal, title-chasing Arsenal at home to a new manager team in Manchester United, and the game didn't disappoint.
Not at all, not at all. And it was really interesting to see how Arsenal will deal with the pressure. Man United under Carrick, they feel like they've got a momentum, they've got a little bit of a confidence. It seems like the players play with a smile. We haven't seen that under Amorim. And now Carrick brought something that we used to see in old United. They enjoy, they smile, and they use the right players to win games. And it was a great game to watch. But for me, the concern was Arsenal, and especially with Jesus and Saka and Trossard, goals. We're talking about what Arsenal is standing at the moment. They score a lot of goals, but set pieces. Sometimes that's not enough. In the big games, and especially when you play Man United with the confidence, you need more than that. And that was interesting to see how Arsenal was going to react and what Man United will do to put that game to bed.
Well, you mentioned the two teams just a moment ago, and these is what the manager sent out. I think pretty standard for Arsenal. I think that's arguably his strongest team at the moment. There's a talk of whether Trossard is Martinelli. People along them lines are his strongest team. Jesus, Gyökeres, again, the strong performance by Jesus in the week in Milan obviously led to him starting this game. So I thought Arsenal are quite predictable. And Manchester United off the weekend before against Manchester City with this team, those two operating at the top of the pitch more often like that, actually, wasn't it? Especially when they were defending as a front two was how the manager set them up.
Yeah, and it was great. Carrick obviously have found out what was Man United missing, playing the players in the right areas, use the strengths of the players. I mean, Dorgu, Ahmad, you know what, they're brilliant. They've got the pace, they've got the intensity, they can actually go up and down. Yeah. They've got the energy and the physicality to actually do that. But what you've got with Mbeumo and Fernandes, you've got a very intelligent player as Fernandes. You've got Mbeumo, who is not just intelligence, but he's got speed. He knows when to make the runs into the space. And I'm sure that Carrick has looked at Arsenal and they know one thing. They play high. There's going to be plenty of spaces. How are we going to use that space and try to punish Arsenal?
Well, let's have a look at exactly how they set up. And I did think in the previous week against Manchester City, I thought Manchester United's first thought was to run forward. I thought it was to try and get in behind a high line of Manchester City, and we saw the exact same thing in this game. This is early in the game. Arsenal started particularly well on the front foot. United getting behind the ball, but obviously Casemiro comes out and tries to deflect, and we saw the exact same thing in this game. This is early in the game. Arsenal started particularly well on the front foot. United getting behind the ball, but obviously Casemiro comes out and tries to deflect that ball going into the box. The ball's in the air, and already I'm seeing the body language of Mbeumo already thinking about moving forward. There you see it, Ahmad already moving forward. You're going to see in a moment Bruno Fernandes thinking about moving. They haven't even got the ball yet, and you just see they're off. Kobe Mainoo brings it down brilliantly, and just look at the hunger to get forward, the desire. There's no thought of coming towards the ball.
Man, Osman, both of us played, yeah? Where you can hurt teams, the space. Play the space, use the space. Which player can hurt you? And that's what's happening. Mbeumo, he don't even think about it. He's not thinking about coming short, you know? Yes, coming short, playing with the ball, hold the ball is no. My first thing is that I'm off. I'm going to stretch that team. This was brilliant because if you can look at every single Man United player, they're already thinking, we're pushing up. Yeah. We are going up. And this is something that Matt O'Carry got, is like, we're breaking teams. We can be under pressure. We look solid because Man United, until they won the ball, they look solid. But what is the next phase? And this is what Man United make it perfectly that. This is a little bit unlucky, but you can see, if we can stop it here, if we can go back and stop it, Leon, is when that ball is played, play a little bit forward, and then we can stop it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at how stretched is this Arsenal team. This is what Man United want. They want to take what Arsenal likes to do. They like to be compact. They like to play with short passes. They want to dominate the game. They want to be in control. This is Arsenal not in control. This is Arsenal overstretched, on the back foot. And this is what Man United done pretty much all the way till the end.
Yeah, and even in that, Manchester United actually outcover Arsenal. They've got Arsenal stretched and still outcover in those moments. But it was a theme. You know, this is that moment again. This is a clear moment in the game. Harry Maguire just wins the ball back. It's on its way to Bruno Fernandes. Look at the look between the two of them. He's looked already. And Mbeumo is in that position. They're always never too far away from each other. You know, this distance between the two of them is never particularly far.
We mentioned it earlier at the start. The cleverness from Fernandes and the pace on Mbeumo. It reminds me of your game. You used to be that clever. You used to find little pockets, but you play. But this is what it's all about, how you can hurt your opponents. And that's what Fernandes and Mbeumo can do. One can find the pass. the other one can run into space. But this is where Man United is really, look at the way they're set up. If you can highlight all the forward players, I can do it for you, but but if you can look at it, now Man United are looking actually to pin down Arsenal. What Arsenal like, the centre halves, they love when they have a big striker. They'll love if they have Sesko there because they know what to do.
Yeah.
But
if someone was in there,
yes,
right up against them, they'd be able to go and mark them.
And you know the good thing is, they will be more narrow. It won't be that space between them where you can play the ball. When the players can actually move freely into the inside the pitch, and they can stand between those lines because there's enough space.
Yeah, there's no way of him being able to come into that position.
No.
There's no way of him being able to come into that position, is there?
And this is the most dangerous position. This is where Michael Carrick was really clever with that. But Man United player, they were patient with it. They were waiting for it. They knew what moments they wanted to use.
And this was a good moment. This was as they'd grown into the game, they'd weathered Arsenal's early storm. But what I liked about this was the pockets of space they're getting into. Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro mixing it up. We just highlighted that, the way they're all spread across. Look how brave they're being in possession, getting forward. But what I did like was the fact that on this occasion, we've highlighted previous ones, Mbeumo going forward, Bruno going forward, but also able to come into spaces. On this occasion, it's the opposite way round.
Yeah.
And Mbeumo's come short, so that meant Bruno goes in behind, and they're actually really unfortunate not to get some of them.
And that chance come from literally just patient build up and play, and he should score that one. A great opportunity. But another funny, Mino as well is he's that number 6 who bounce off it. Everything bounce off him. But this is another thing that you're talking about. Look at the way Arsenal is. They're overstretched. This is not a comfortable Arsenal, way overstretched. This is like a simple ball. But what Man United does is, like, what is your next stage? How do we press? When do we press? When do we engage? And this is something, this is interesting. If you can look at Dorgu, you figure Fernandes, you can do it in Mbeumo, it's like they're waiting for it.
Yeah.
When you have players behind you and you know they're set, they're not out of position, they're ready to do what you do. The front layer of pressing, and this is what happened. If you play, look, this is well balanced.
Yeah, and
this
the communication, I've just tried to highlight there, the communication going on with these two. They've just lost the ball. Now it's about how you get set up. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
The main concern is probably that kind of position.
Not at the moment. By everything develops, you will see how Man United actually adjust. You see, what he does. Look at it if you play slowly, you can see, what he does. All of a sudden, you realize one thing. If you can stop it now, there is the danger. I need to stop that.
Yeah.
Why? Because you already have, if I can press the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah.
There's no 5-1 come out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. There's 5 players. How many is Man United players there?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, up until this point, they've got 5 in this half, yeah.
So they're actually taking Arsenal from their comfortable zone. Is when do we press? We can actually go man for man here. And this is something that is very interesting, is how brave Man United is. And where they're going to put Arsenal in the back foot. And we're going to see that by playing
Kobbie
this.
Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes stopped that pass into an Odegaard in there. If that pass happens, people are out of the game, but it doesn't. They're able to stop it. They're able to force Arsenal backward. I do think, at this point, I think once Subamendi gets the ball, I think you realise we're under a bit of pressure. I do think somewhere somebody's got to go, well, I'll tell you what, we're under a bit of pressure.
Taking
I'll play
responsibility.
forward. I'm going to play forward. I know I'm going to risk the ball. I'm going to play a percentage pass because we're in a little bit of trouble. But they don't see that. They play backwards.
Look at the reaction.
Manchester United do brilliantly.
And this is something that, and this is a great finish. Don't get me wrong. You have to press. You have to be in the right area. You have to do the right things. But when you get that opportunity, you have to be clinical. You have to finish it. It was he done it with confidence, and he's been brilliant.
Oh, it was an outstanding finish. And talk about outstanding finishes. Manchester United had 3. I mean, there were the 2 in the second half that could potentially be in the goal of the season candidates for Manchester United, possibly for the league, especially Dorgu's goal, to be honest. I mean, United, this came after a strong spell of 5 minutes where they had the majority of possession. They were asking an awful lot of questions. Just seeing a forward run from Bruno Fernandes, little bit of interchange, Dorgu coming into positions. You're going to see that happens so often, which creates space. I do like to talk about but the goal itself, Sam.
What I liked, let's see it in the full flow, because it's a great goal. if we bring it back from the start, you see, if we can stop it here, that'll be unbelievable. Look at what they've got now. You've got Mbumo, who loves to run into space, yeah?
Yep.
He loves that. But then you've got one player that is actually brilliant. This guy, Bruno Fernandes. What he does is in the right area. Why? If I play with you, Leon, what I will do is I will play the ball to your feet. Why? Because you're great with it. You know
I couldn't run.
No, you could run, but your strength is like you can see the game. If I play the ball to you, I know the ball will be back. I can bounce off you. I can get in the position where I can hurt the opposition if I have a pace by using you. And this is what's happened. Look at what's happened. 1-2, 1-2, a simple thing. And Doku, when he's got the opportunity, what strike?
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll hit many better than that. I mean, we thought his goal a few weeks back, volley at Old Trafford, was special, but this one, circumstance, the moment to get his team back into the lead at that moment was remarkable. And he knew it. I think his reaction would tell you that that he enjoyed that moment.
It seems like in that moment, everybody's enjoying it. Man United have a structure, how to play going forward, what to do, and they don't only have Plan A; they've got Plan B as well. If Carrick makes a couple of changes, they've got another option, and it's a simple option.
Yeah, I agree. But I thought one of Michael Carrick's positives that came out of the game, I mean, the way he set his team up, the way it was last week, the way things materialised during the game. I thought at 2-1, it had to make a change. They had to take off Dorgu, and he put Sesko. There was talk that he would put the defender on and the holding midfield, maybe try and kill the game at that moment. But he put Sesko, partly probably to try and defend set pieces. But that didn't half pay off when once they went to 2-2, because he can do this. He can compete for the ball. He can fight for it, which meant United can get bodies around him. United could go in search of the next goal.
Yes. And look at where Arsenal is. Saliba, look, he's about 10 yards back. What are you defending there? What are you defending there? The problem is we talk about Plan A and Plan B. This is his Plan B. I don't mind going long, going direct, put pressure on Arsenal, get my players to be around there and play off second ball. Then we've got enough quality to go and punish them. And this is what happened in this moment, exactly.
Well, it certainly does. And again, no surprise, Bruno Fernandes involved. Great body position from Cunha. Lovely little spell again. I just want to point out the run from Sesko, what Michael Carrick's got in the mind. No thought of coming bouncing in. Run these defenders away. Create space for players in these pockets here. And actually now, when you've got someone like Cunha, who 2 games, he started on the bench on both occasions, and yet he's come on with this freshness, this brightness, this real belief. Assist when he came on last week, winning goal in this game, and he's just sort of indicative of what's happening at Manchester United at the moment.
Game changers. That's what Matt Carrick will look for, a game changers. In any time of the game, being under pressure, dominating the game, I need a game changers. And against Arsenal, Man United had plenty of game changers there.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at the man who's made the difference at the moment. Just touch on his record at Manchester United, which is pretty impressive. It's got to say, not just the results against high-profile teams, but look at the managers who he's been up against.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job in Middlesbrough. Not many people paid attention. I had a chance to speak with Michael not long ago. We end up in the same party, but that's and he was so passionate about being a manager, being a coach, about, he innovation in football and what he wants to achieve, you can see he's got the fire. And I'm sure having that opportunity and having this behind his CV, he'll look into saying, I can do a great job here. And why not?
Absolutely. So, very positive about Manchester United. Congratulations to them in that result and how they're headed at the moment. But we have to talk a little bit about Arsenal. We have to touch on a team that is certainly been probably the most dominant in the league this season, going for the title. They've certainly hit a little bump in the road.
They are. And I hate when they say it's now or never.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta, he won titles and, you know, he won cups. You know that pressure, that sentence, what it means, now or never. The players will be reading that and they will be going, we're under pressure now. And the problem is now, Aston Villa are pushing, they're winning. A lot of people are asking questions about can they do it, cannot do it. But the main concern there will be also Man City being there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the goals in this game, there was an own goal, another goal from a set-piece situation. They're really sort of struggling to break teams down from open play. They keep getting in good positions, I think. They keep getting the moments that I actually think other teams would really be clinical and take advantage of. But in this moment, this is pretty much a 4v3. Manchester United are scrambling to get back. Only Harry Maguire's set and ready. And yet Arsenal don't even really end up with a proper effort on goal. It could have been passed wide to start with. It could be flashed across for Saka running in. I keep seeing sort of wrong decisions or decisions that certainly aren't helping them get goals.
Wrong, sloppy, looking for that perfect goal. When you've got that opportunity, when you play such a big game, it's magnitude, what you do is you take your chances. You make sure certain ways of winning the games is, but sometimes you'll have half a chance. But it all depends how you react, how you think, and how you use it. What Arsenal did is just they take that extra touch.
Yes.
Is that I wanna score that perfect goal. I wanna get to that right position. On the other hand, Man United was saying, every time we've got a chance, we have to take it. Doesn't matter where is it from. And that's the problem for Arsenal is. But also, everything was slow. Everything was that extra time, that extra touch that you want to take. And if you look at it, Man United made it difficult for Arsenal. It's not just Arsenal. Man United, their reaction of the ball was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been filtered into a better position. There could have been some sort of efforts on goal. Credit, I mean, for most of the Arsenal clips, I'm quite critical of how slow, ponderous they've been, but credit to Manchester United, they've just had a corner kick. And that is all 11 players back inside their own penalty area within, you know, the blink of an eye. And Arsenal, what does it end up with? 5 in there compared to all 11 of Manchester United's. And, you know, you're talking about sensing moments, sensing opportunities, trying to take them, trying to be aggressive. I think Arsenal are happy to kind of play a little bit slower and a little bit... Are they becoming predictable?
Very predictable, very predictable. Now you know what to expect from Arsenal. You know that you have to take risks. You have to be able to press, to be aggressive against Arsenal and take your chances. But this is what Man United, they were quite comfortable. Even when they have to face their goal and run back, they're quite comfortable with it. Arsenal were going... We haven't seen any of the Arsenal players to go behind, just to go there. Just go, stretch them. Let's see what they can do. Look at that, they're staying in one line. They're very predictable, as you mentioned. And what Man United is saying, we're going to take that risk. We're going to count on you having an off day, but we want backup. The soon you don't exercise, don't take the opportunity, we're going to punish you.
Yeah, I thought that Manchester United are very good. Arsenal just kept on making it easy. You talk about making runs in behind. There's Declan Rice with good possession of the ball. I'm not seeing enough of the demand to say, come on, play the ball over the top. I'd like to see Eze a bit more aggressive in a position. I think he's quite slow in the way he sort of gets the ball forward. And when you're getting it there instead of there, suddenly you have to turn back. He has to turn back here because the position, and how hard Manchester United are working, and suddenly look at United's position now.
Look at it now. They were very well organised. I mean, if I'm Man United at the moment, it's like, I'm very well set up. You're not going to hurt me. They won't play the ball to Gyökeres. They won't play that ball. here, they won't. They never do. The two centre halves, you can see that they don't even pay attention because now that ball is not going there. So they're quite happy. If the ball go wide, I'll go and back it up. I'll double up. I'll make sure I'll do my job because that ball is not coming here. And they do become very predictable.
Yep, they do. And I just think even when they get into this position, I used to think that, you know, a Manchester City or an Arsenal would get you into this position, they'd lock you in. But I felt there was penetration. I felt there was forward passes. I felt that there was real sprinting runs to get in behind. As a good bowling could maybe have took that on the back foot. I think this now, Timber, do they want him to be one-on-one? Or do they want Jurrien Timber to make a real positive run in behind? Well, let me tell you, none really happened.
No, there's no energy. There's not that drive that Arsenal had. Is like, I'm going to get there. I want to get that goal. Unfortunately, even with the cross, it was a poor cross.
Nobody on the move?
No. Everybody's static. And this become a little problem in the last couple of games for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. So
these are the open play opportunities, XG, that Arsenal have created this season. They should have 25.69 goals on, according to XG. They've got 24. So even though they're not creating as many chances as the teams above them, they're also not scoring as many chances. I think Manchester City have got 39 or 40 goals comparative to their XG, so they're outperforming. Arsenal are creating lower and underperforming.
Yeah, it's very... I know we can look at stats, we can look at a lot of things, but what we've seen from Man City and we've seen from Man United, even with Liverpool, is players gamble. They score goals from unpredictable situations. With Arsenal, it's like, as you say, more predictable. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
And if on the day we both play now, sometimes it don't work out. It just don't work out. And you don't have your moments. And if you'll not be able to be different and creative, then it becomes a problem.
Well, talk about not being creative, not doing something out of the ordinary. This alarmed me. This is a team going for the title, and those are 5 of your most attacking players.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier when I saw first the Arsenal team, it's a bit of concern about goals and how you're going to get goals. You need big players, game changers. That's what Man United have got at the moment. If you look at that, it's not just a concern. This is a big problem. This is a big problem Mikel Arteta have to address. I mean, I don't know, do you know the stats, or have you ever had an idea what to win the league?
To win the Premier League, there is, for every Premier League team that's won the league, the least amount, or they've had a goal scorer that scored at least 13 Premier League goals. Arsenal have, I think it's Gyökeres and Trossard on 5 each at the moment. They're a long way off getting to that kind of standard of goal scorer that does bring you back the Premier League title.
Of course.
And this is also a concern as well. These are 2 games against 2 big teams now for Arsenal. At home to Liverpool, at home to Manchester United. Against Liverpool, they went 47 minutes, 8 seconds without a shot against Liverpool on target. Against Manchester United, they went 52 minutes and 40 seconds. They're just not creating moments.
No moments. No moments and no opportunities to win the games. And this is something that sometimes when the teams struggle to score goals, you have to find a solution. And your solution is sometimes changing your plan. Sometimes it's not working. And sometimes in the Premier League, a lot of managers and clubs, they understand. By the end of the season, they know how to play against you. They know how to use certain things. And at the moment, it's coming that part of the season where Arsenal have to find a solution. And at the moment, they don't have that solution.
Well, they don't.
Right, what a few weeks it's been for Michael Carrick and Manchester United. They beat Manchester City and they've beaten Arsenal in his opening 2 games. Can they keep that winning run going? That's a question for you, Jay Bothroyd. Fulham this weekend, then Tottenham, West Ham, Everton and Crystal Palace.
Yes, is an answer to that. I mean, if they keep playing the way they're playing, I definitely think so. They've been fantastic since Michael Carrick's come into the job. He's given them confidence. He's got them in a formation that they all look comfortable in, to me. And there's been some big performances. Beating Man City and then beating Arsenal is massive. But now Manchester United needs to show the consistency. You know, Fulham, they're a good side. But definitely these next, 5 games, they're winnable. They should be winning them games. Again, Tottenham, yes, but West Ham, Everton, Palace, no disrespect to them, but Man United should be beating those teams. It's a shame to see that Dorgu's out now because he brought so much to them. You know, wing back, then left back. Now he's kind of playing left wing, but he's just going everywhere. To see him get injured now, I think he's out for like 6 weeks. That's a big blow. But then Cunha comes on, scores a fantastic goal and just, you know, slots right in there. So Man United are looking really good now. They've got really good options off the bench as well. And I don't see why they can't go and do more.
We've got a couple of voice notes on this topic. First of all, Damien.
Those 2 massive wins over the last week and a half have been amazing. So these sort of games against the mid-table teams like Fulham and Palace, they've always seemed to make us struggle a bit more. Fingers crossed he can do it, but I think so. The team are playing in the right way. Everybody's there. Only Dorgu is out. Everybody looks strong.
Yeah, how disappointing would it be for Manchester United to beat the top 2 but then not beat the mid-table clubs, as he says?
Yeah, and that's been the inconsistencies that Man United have shown over the last few years. But I think the difference there of what Damien was saying is that when Man United play against Man City and Arsenal, you've got 2 teams that are coming out to Man United to beat them. You know, these other sides like Fulham, Spurs, West Ham, Everton, Palace, they're going to be more disciplined. They're going to, you know, be a low block. They'll probably play counter-attack football, and then it's hard to break down against those sides. So this is where now you need to have those players like the Brunos, the Mason Mounts, the Amads, where they can open up things, little intricate passes, you know, scoring goals from the edge of the box. They need to turn up and put big performances in.
And I've got a voice note from Kev.
There's absolutely no reason why United can't push on, get results. Carrick's doing a decent job, and United have more than enough talent in their squad to finish top 4.
Finish top 4, yeah. Manchester United fans certainly confident at the moment, far more than they were a few months ago. Let's get more on this now and cross to Manchester United supporter James MacDonald. Right, James, how long can you keep this winning run going?
Hopefully indefinitely, but obviously that's not realistic. No, I think the next couple of fixtures, as we've just said then, are quite kind to us. So hopefully we can kind of put a few more back-to-back wins together. And hopefully that lad can get his haircut.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on. I hope for his sake and yours that does happen. What do you think Ruben Amorim's thinking right now? Because Michael Carrick's doing all the things that you Manchester United fans wanted him to do, and it's working.
I think he's counting his money.
Well, that's a
I don't think he's thinking anything.
Classic, cynical, classic ex-footballer's view, that is. Fan view, James. Yours is more important on this one.
It's better to cry in a Lamborghini, I suppose, isn't it?
Exactly, James.
No, but I think from footballing terms, he is quite a young manager. And I think he showed a little bit of naivety towards the league and towards the teams in the league. And I think hopefully he looks back at this and maybe at his next job he kind of isn't so proud and kind of potentially has a bit more flex with what he does with the lads on the training pitch.
So the last 2 games you did go into it as underdogs, but you won them both. What's it going to be like going in as favourites for the next few games?
Well, I think that this is kind of what United's biggest problem has been over the last couple of years. We take big scalps, and then with the so-called lesser teams, we get caught out a little bit. I think hopefully, though, we're still riding that new manager bounce. The excitement's there, and we'll be able to kind of apply the same way we played against City to these games.
Okay. James, do you know Mbeumo's been playing as a striker? He looks like a real natural striker to me. He can come deep, he can go wide, he's running in behind, he finishes really well, very composed. Do you think that's his position for Man United in this Michael Carrick team?
Well, I think, to be honest, a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have said so, but when you're watching him play, he just seems to adapt to every position he's in. But he's looking the real deal, and he's given us an alternative to Sesko in terms of how we're approaching that front three.
Did you ever think that Manchester United fans would be panicking about an injury to Dorgu?
No, I don't think we'd ever be panicking about it. He has been pretty good the last couple of games.
Pretty good, James.
To say the least.
Pretty good. Come on, man, give him some credit. Very good. Give him his flowers.
Definitely give him his flowers. I said at the start of the season he'd probably be our one to watch for United, but I think he offered a really good balance with Ahmad going forward on either side of the pitch. But I think with him being injured, it's not the end of the world. If you look at the formation that we're playing and the way we're playing, we've now got options on the bench. And Kuna coming in, he showed in the last 2 games against City and against Arsenal that he can play in that position and cause problems. I think the only issue is Dorgu obviously was up and down and he was quite defensive-minded covering for Luke Shaw, and it's whether or not Kuna can kind of fill in that blank.
But I see that. I see that in that performance. I know he came on as a sub, but I did see him tracking back, getting up and down the field. He is young. He's very athletic still. And like you said, he's a threat. He's great at finishing when he's got a fantastic goal. I feel like Man United's squad is deep. I think you've got some really good options there. You've got youth in there. And it was great to see Mainu come back in there. And these last few games, he's been fantastic. He showed composure. And it's exactly what Man United needs. Sometimes, you need to control that tempo, and he's been doing that really well.
Absolutely. I think he's been one of the standouts since Carrick's come in. I think he's thriving with having a bit of an arm over his shoulder and saying, go on, go play in your natural position, I suppose. But I think the good thing is at the moment, in this system, it looks like we've got some depth. In the last system that we were playing under Amarin, we didn't have the players to play that system. So when you looked at the bench, there was no match winners there. But you look at Arsenal last week, where we get it to 2-2. You look at the bench, and you've got your Mainu, you've got Kuna, you've got Mount, you've got Sesko, you've got people who actually can ball in the net.
And that's what I was saying. I think that's what Man United have that Arsenal really lack, is that Man United have shooters like that can score outside the box. You've got Mbeumo, you've got Mason Mount, you've got Cunha, you've got Bruno. You've got some players there that can score from outside the box. And when you're playing against a low block, that's what you need. I mean, that's why Arsenal struggled, I think, because I think teams look at Arsenal and say, you're not really a threat from the edge of the box. You're a threat from wide areas, but right there on the edge of the box, centrally, Man United have that in abundance.
Absolutely. You've got players with ones of right and left foot there who could just put pressure on and score screamers. And that's what won us the game ultimately. It was counter-attacking, let them have the ball as much as they can, but as soon as you've got a sight on goal, take a shot. Don't worry about passing it round and doing passages of play.
Yeah.
Take your opportunities while they're there.
And one thing I would say as well, I really don't like the fact that people out there, and some pundits as well, I mean, don't get me wrong, Roy Keane knows and loves the club, obviously better than I do, but I look at Michael Carrick and I say to myself, if he goes and gets Man United in the Champions League, winning games the way he's winning them right now, why doesn't he keep the job?
You're getting closer to thinking that, James. You're getting closer to thinking just give him the job.
Not right now, Tom, but I think if he does well this season, you have to give him the job.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the plan is keep an interim and get a manager you want in the summer, but he's put himself in the shop window, and if he keeps playing the way he's playing and we keep getting these results, how are you going to kind of go against him? If he's like this till the end of the season, it's going to be very difficult to kind of say no to him.
And James, who is there? Who's out there? I mean, Ancelotti just signed a contract with Brazil till 2030. Who else is out there that you think, yeah, he would definitely come in and have this kind of effect on the team and get us over the line?
Well, I think the two that I would say that I'd like at United, Enrique or Emery, and I think he'd turn down Real Madrid for us, definitely, with that nice Manchester weather. But no, I don't think... I don't think them two are quite realistic at the moment. Emery maybe, but I think they're the managers we'd go. And I think the managers we'd probably end up looking at, maybe it'd be a Tuchel, Pochettino or Glasner.
So would you take Tuchel and Poch? Would you take Tuchel and Poch over Carrick if he carries on doing what he's doing?
No, that's what I was about to say. If Carrick carried on doing this, then that's a bit of a no-brainer. I mean, I think Carrick would probably stay around a bit more for the long haul. And Tuchel in the past, obviously, he hasn't been at many clubs for more than 3 years. So, keep playing the way he's playing, and it's going to be hard to not pick him.
Do you think the reason why people are doubting Carrick is because when Solskjaer came in, he done really well, and then obviously, took a turn for the worse, and he ended up getting the sack?
Absolutely. We've had our fingers burnt before in the past, and because of that, I'm not sat here going, Carrick, give him the contract now, because Rio did that about Solskjaer, and it ended up getting mean. No, but I think that is the case. I think we have seen in the past, we maybe jumped the gun a little bit with Ollie, not waiting until the end of the season and giving him the job, and then look how that turned out. So I think we've been a bit cautious.
Yeah, OK, well, let's see what happens between now and the end of the season. Of course, that game at the weekend as well. Thank you, James.
Thanks, James.
Those of you getting in touch with your voice notes, we've got one here from Jamie who feels very positive about Manchester United right now.
As a Manchester United fan, seeing the next 6 fixtures, we win the next 6 fixtures, we're going on a title charge.
What did he say? Talking to you there. What did he say?
Sorry, that was funny.
What did he say?
He said these next 5 fixtures, if you win it's a title charge if they win them.
If they win all 5, that would be 7 wins in a row.
And what does that mean? Arsenal are not going to win. Man City are not going to win.
They're 12 points behind Arsenal. The fact that you're laughing tells me that you think that's too many. No,
of course. I mean, listen, there's no doubt about it. Man United are on the ascendancy. They're playing really well right now, but let's not get carried away. That's not going to happen this season. I think if Man United can be consistently playing the way they're playing in these last 2 games, keep bringing in players, then yes, we're talking about title contenders. But this season, it's an absolute no. It's not happening. It's just not happening. There's no chance.
Right, well, John's been in touch about Aston Villa after Ollie Watkins picked up that injury in the Europa League last night.
With Evan Gesson going to Crystal Palace and this injury to Watkins just occurring, would it not make sense to try and go in for Mateta to come in the other way? As it's been confirmed that he has been a target previously.
To where?
Villa.
I mean, the fact that they've signed Tammy Abraham, which is a similar profile to Mateta.
Like out-and-out strikers.
Yeah.
Whereas Marlon and Gesson kind of played wide a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, they do, yeah. And I mean, Marlon was actually good. He was effective, obviously.
I suppose Abraham replaces Marlon, but it's, I think, with Gesson going.
I don't think you sign someone like Mateta. You sign Mateta, he's coming in to start. And then, you've got Tammy Abraham that I think will go on the bench because Tammy can't play in a wide area. And I don't think Mateta can either. So I would say that it wouldn't be a good move for both parties, I don't think.
Yeah. OK, fine. We've got some news just into us, actually. It could be worrying news for Everton fans. We've just about to hear from David Moyes. Now, he has said in his news conference this morning that he fears Jack Grealish may need surgery. Now, if he does need surgery, he'll be out for the rest of the season. We must stress at this moment, Moyes has said that if he needs surgery, don't know if he does at this stage, but if he does need surgery, Grealish will be out for the season. So, Jay, in terms of Everton, how bad news is that? And obviously, it means that he can't get into the England squad.
Yeah, I mean, for Everton, it's terrible news. Obviously, Jack Grealish is a very, very good player. He's a great character. He's good to have around the dressing room, very experienced. So that would be a blow for Everton, especially because he is a difference, especially playing on that left. You've got him on the left, you've got Ndiaye on the right. It's good balance there for Everton. But I think in terms of the World Cup, I think he's way off the World Cup. Rashford's there. Anthony Gordon's there. Eze, he can play on that left side sometimes. Morgan Rogers can play on that left side. We've seen it for Aston Villa. He can definitely do that as well. So I think Grealish is way off the World Cup squad, but it's very disappointing that he might need surgery and he might miss the rest of the season because Everton really need him now.
Yeah. We are going to hear from David Moyes in the next hour here on Sky Sports Fan Club. But on the way